here at Newport Harbor High School is getting so much worse that even the students have taken action. They're sacrificing their class time. They're coming out to protest for the health of the other students themselves and their teachers. This is a super important issue, and the rats are just multiplying. So this has to happen now. We have to find a solution for the rat problem at Newport Harbor High.
So I think my sophomore year, a rat died in Mr. Reyes' classroom in my Spanish class, and they couldn't find it, or like the stench was really bad and the kid barfed, and so we actually had to leave the classroom for like a few weeks while they like worked on the room. I don't know what they did, and the room was fine when we went back, but we didn't have like a proper classroom. We just learned in the teacher's lounge for like, I want to say like 2 weeks.
So on Monday, I found a rat inside of the heater. I open it and there's a rat inside. He was alive and he was about to jump out, so I just shut it completely and never opened it again.
Why specifically don't you like rats? You're a doctor, right?
Yes, and I protect all animals. However, rats are well known to carry a huge amount and array of disease if you are exposed to their excretions in the urine, which we have at the school here. So it's a health hazard, a major health hazard.
And how many kids do you think go through this Spanish building each day?
In my class, there's 180.
And then how many classrooms are there?
6 in my classroom multiplied by 8 teachers.
So that's a lot of kids and a lot of rats.
A lot of rats. And this week we have seen rats in almost every classroom while we're teaching.
How much worse has this problem gotten?
It has incremented in the last month enormously.
What do you think we should do?
Well, I'm not sure. I just want to take care of the health of my students and myself and the other teachers. The district should look into how we can handle this issue.
Great, so you disagree with having rats on campus?
I don't like rats. It's a problem of safety and health of the students of Newport Harbor. Big problem.
Do you have any stories about rats that you've seen or other students who have seen rats at school?
Yeah, big one, like this big. Run across the room.
How common are the rats on campus?
I hear stories every day. Don't get me started about ratas.
Do you have friends that are scared of the rats that don't want to come to school?
Yeah, people don't like the rats. They're concerned about health.
Have you ever seen rats in the Spanish building?
I have.
And what was that experience like?
It was quite frightening. It was running across the hallway. It was last year, pretty much, yeah.
Last year, so there were even rats last year that you saw?
Yes, I saw them in multiple buildings. I also saw them in Sims, the English building.
So the rats are spreading?
They are, yeah.
And you've seen this firsthand just by yourself?
Mm-hmm, I have.
So you're one person that has already seen multiple rats in multiple buildings?
Got that right.
And what do you feel about the rats? Is it concerning to you? Are you worried about your health?
Kinda, I think it's pretty disgusting, and I've heard stuff about like rat urine and it being bad for like the human body and stuff, and so yeah, I just think they need to do something about it.
Could you show me with your hands about how big these rats are?
I'd say they're about that big.
I hear you have an important story about rats that you would like to share with us.
Well, unfortunately, we've got a rat problem here. It's come to the point where you come into work in the mornings and you have to start cleaning up the rat urine on top of the desk or on top of the tables. That's nothing that anybody should have to do once they go to work if you're a teacher or a student. 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks ago, I came into the classroom and I started getting a nasty headache. The following day, I came into the classroom about an hour later. Again, I started developing a nasty headache. Students realized that I was kind of holding my temples like this, and they offered some medicine, right? Headache wouldn't go away. I looked over. I was sitting at my desk. I looked over to a table that I have right next to my desk, and I saw a little puddle. I got close. I smelled it. It almost knocked me back. The rat urine was there, and that's nothing that we should have to experience, or even the students. We're doing this because we're worried about our students. We're worried about your guys' health. It affects everybody.
Well, I had a teacher call me yesterday that complained about a rat trap right beside her handbag, as well as rats running up and down her classroom. And then talking to her last night, I was told that the students were organizing a protest today, so I came out to support the students. What's really disappointing is I had, in an HR meeting just 3 weeks ago, had brought up the fact that rats are a problem, and it's probably been, I don't know, every 2 or 3 months in meetings, we bring up to administration that there's a rat problem, not only at Newport Harbor High School, there's a rat problem at Corona Del Mar High School, and a rat problem at Costa Mesa High School. And all of these problems have been going on for a long time.
Have you seen any rats on campus?
In fact, I have. I saw a couple, like 3 or 4 running around the center of the hall, kind of like the quad, and it was quite a distraction.
So you've seen alive rats in multiples on campus?
Yes, I have actually, and they ran towards the gutters, which I assume is kind of like a pathway for them to run around.
So do you think that the rats should be able to live on campus with the other kids?
I think they probably should have a sanctuary. However, it shouldn't be here because this is a learning environment, and when we have rodents, it's quite a distraction, and it deters our education.
Have you seen any rats in your Spanish building?
Personally, I have not, but I remember being in Mr. Reyes' class when he had that whole rat problem too last year, and it smelled horrible in there. Like, it was just like we weren't able to learn in there, you know. It was like really distracting for us, and we'd have like huge headaches all the time, and I feel like it's just a problem that we finally need to address, and it's been like years of them trying to like get to their community and finally speak out against it. So I just don't want to see rats, and I'm glad I haven't, and I want to keep it that way for now, so yeah.
So even without seeing the rats, they've been affecting you and affecting your learning?
Yes, they have.
So what is HPS? What does that stand for?
Basically, HPS is a disease, and it comes from rats because rats are pretty dirty animals, and they bring a lot of diseases. And this disease specifically is very dangerous for humans.
So specifically with the rats, you've done the research and you're worried about HPS. Do you think other students should be worried about this disease from the rats?
Yeah, basically because it not only hurts like one people, it can be transmitted too.
What is it that you have experienced with the rats?
Well, for the past 3 years, I have experienced a lot of headaches, pressures, like respiratory problems, and that is due because of the rats that I have found in my classroom. And I found 2 rats in the past 3 years in there, and they have pee everywhere. They have done all the necessities in there, and the room smells really bad. And now I'm developing these diseases and these allergies regularly and frequently, which is preventing me to come here very often to the classroom, you know, to the school.
And how many students do you think you have?
How many students I have? Approximately 180 students.
So then all of these students are also being exposed to the same thing?
Of course, because it's in the room. Yeah,
Are the students worried about the rats too?
Of course. They are actually the ones that mentioned that they wanted to do something about this. And personally, I've been talking to the administrators. The administrators have been active in a way of cleaning the rooms, replacing the carpet, especially in my room. But they haven't eradicated the problem. And the problem still remains. We have rats, and now everybody's getting sick, and we need to do something about that.
So you have class right now, don't you?
Yes, but it's more important for us to be out here protesting these unhealthy conditions than for us to be in class right now. And since it's a traditional day, we only have 40 minutes for our class, so it's not that much time taken out of our education. Plus, thanks to my great teacher, we're like ahead of our learning curve, so we're not missing that much.
And so your teachers are out here with you too?
Yes, they care about our health as much as we do.
What do you teach?
Special education and golf.
Where's that classroom located?
Home arts.
So that's way across campus from the Spanish building?
Yes.
And do you have rats there?
We've seen them. I've actually had one run into me, actually bounced off my leg, and it was quite large.
How big do you think with your hands?
I'd say it was about like that.
So that's like the size of a cat.
So the ones that are getting caught in the rat traps, the bodies themselves are like this. They don't look like this little guy right here.
So why is this rat problem so hard to solve on campus?
That's a difficult one to answer. I think that the district would have a better answer for that. If I was to guess, it requires a coordinated effort on district's part and maintenance to kind of figure out where they're coming from, how they're getting in, the type of traps that they can use, and then monitoring and then removing them.
So do you think the problem is getting worse? Do you think the amount of rats is growing?
I would say it's definitely getting worse.
So reporting live, I'm Skylar Jacobson for the Costa Mesa Brief at Newport Harbor High School.